Okay, and now I have a voice. So, yeah, technical issues subverted. So I'm doing a try jam. It's a 3-hour time limit. It's a little bit less because it already, started like on Friday, and I'm starting it now. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to quickly make a game for this jam using these assets, no less. I got these from Itch. They are licensed pretty generously. I think it was CC0. I'm gonna look it up anyway because I will need to credit the author. So these are just a bunch of little sprites and a lot of them. And the gem's theme is Dig It Up, which is a good one, but I had a bit of a decision fatigue yesterday when I was contemplating entering the gem. So I have these little notes, and this is what I'm going to be attempting. Something like Boulder Dash, and I'm not sure where it's going to end up, but I had an idea that maybe the rocks, the falling rocks, could be moved by physics. Maybe the player can jump, or shoot or push stuff. I don't know. Maybe weird stuff could happen sometimes, just to make the game a little bit, more funny, possibly unexpected. And yeah, I had a hunch in the beginning that this might be a good opportunity to make an infinite runner. I'm not so sure about that anymore, but yeah, let's get started. So inside construct, I have my usual template. I'm going to create a tile map, that's for sure. And I'm going to import this little number. It's not little, it's really big, but since it's I think 12 by 12 pixels, so it's not that big. I mean one tile. Yes, it is. Good. So this is going to be just a template, and I'm going to cut off a bunch of things from this. I'm probably not going to use it. I'm just going to name it Atlas to do remove already, because I will remove this object for sure. Although I might need an actual tile map. I'm not sure yet. So 12 by 12. And the spacing was, I think, 1 by 1 pixels. Let's see. Okay. Right. So if I select this, for example, I can, draw like, okay, if I want to. So first of all, I'm going to name a player. And let me just open this up a bit. I haven't decided on which asset to use for the player, so I'm just going to do that right now. There are a bunch of different characters. I like these, for example. Although, if I remember correctly, these have different items in their hands. Okay, this could be a good one. Maybe recolor it, make it a little more bright. Or just leave everything as is, I'm not sure. Okay, these are pretty good, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with these ones, I think, for now, at least. Maybe I can, replace it later if I change my mind. So I'm going to create a common construct, do the freaking backups already. Okay, I'm going to create a sprite. Good. And I'm going to name it player. And I'm going to cut a few frames, not like this, from here. So essentially, I will probably, since it's a digging game, it's going to be underground, just like Boulder Dash. So I either need this little pickaxe dude or the one with the shovel, if that's a shovel, possibly. Let's just copy it and see how it turns out. I'm going to cut it like this. I might remove the background later. And this was the second one, right? There's probably a better way to do this, but okay. Not exactly what I was expecting. Yeah, this is not an idle animation, is it? Yeah. Oh, crap. Yeah, I'm not going to have any animation, I think. Yeah, that's fine. It's just a different hairpiece or something. Ooh, I like this cylinder one. Okay, or top hat, sorry. Yeah, brain fart, early morning brain fart. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be the one that I'm using. Come on, construct, what the freak are you doing? Okay. I'm going to remove the background, I think, and possibly make an idle animation a little bit. No, I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, so this is going to be the player, and I'm going to make sure, yeah, the hitbox covers it at this point. This is fine. Although I'm going to flip it like this, because in construct everything by default is at 0 degrees, which means looks right. So, okay, good. So the time up is, yeah, I'm going to change the background color of the background, the main layer, to this. Ah, come on. I forgot to copy. Okay, so, oh, it's just black. Oh, good. I thought it was a dark gray stuff. Never mind. But I don't like black, so I think I just, you know, do something like this. In websites, I usually try not to use proper black as a background color. I don't know, there are UX considerations. Okay, so player, good. This is fine. And I think I'm going to, yeah, cut some corners and bring this timer back once again. And also the template has a relatively high resolution, I mean, compared to these little sprites. So I'm going to bump this down to 320 by 180 and also change the layout size to this. Yes, this is a lot better. And I'm also going to make a 12 by 12 snap grid, something like this. Although I will also need to give it a 6 by 6 offset, so I don't have to change the origin of my sprite. Yes, okay, so now we have, if I turn on the actual grid, you can see it looks like this. I mean, it's offset by 6, but yeah, this is fine. Okay, so this is one thing that is basically done. The time map is going to be used for walls, I think. Oh yeah, the problem with the resolution, it's not divisible by 12. Okay, right. So 320 divided by 12 is 26. So 26 times 12 is 312, right? Or maybe I could just, I think it's one, yeah. Should I go even lower? Possibly. What about a completely random resolution like this? 240 by something. Yeah, this is problematic, but yeah. That's fine. I'm not going to spend any more time. So what I'm going to do, however, is draw some walls like this, just really crude ones. Just to, possibly I'm going to have a scrolling camera and a larger level anyway. So yeah, let me just, I really haven't decided on anything about this game except for the slight hint of Boulder Dash. Okay, let's get back to this. Just to make a scrolling camera test in a few minutes. Okay, so the player is probably going to have a tile movement, which I don't really like to use, but now it's the time. And this might require to change the origin anyway, or not, because there's also an offset. Okay, so let's just see how this works. So right now it's on the proper grid. I mean, it looks like it is. And if I run the game right now, yeah, it's offset. So I'm going to do this. Okay. I mean, it kind of looks alright, but it seems a little off. But this is probably because the tiles are also a little offset like this. I'm starting to wonder why. Maybe I screwed something up in the tile map. Maybe there's an actual extra offset. I'm pretty sure there is. Okay, that's better, but the transparent background is gone. This little corner thing. Yeah. I forgot to add this as an offset. Okay, better. Okay, I'm going to reposition the player a little bit like this. Origin is still in the middle. Good. Okay. Okay, that's all right, I think. I mean, considering. Okay, so what I will going to need to do is to make some of the walls destructible. No, not the walls, but I'm going to need some sort of destructible dirt or something like that. Let me just take a look at the tile map. These are pretty good, even though they are a little dark. Oh, crap, sorry, I did not check chat, and I'm now checking chat. Yeah, one of them is a spam, and the other one is Draftman 2023, szavasz, amúgy, mert látom, hogy igen. Az, hogy nincsen hang, az a jó kérdés, hogy van-e már azóta. Ja. Teljesen szél vagyok ma. Amúgy, ja, halihó. Igen. Technikai bénázás volt rögtön, mert nagyon-nagyon-nagyon hirtelen estem neki most ennek nekifutásból ennek a jamnek, szóval, ja. Konkrétan elfelejtettem a mikrofont kiválasztani OBS-ben, amúgy stabil minden. Ja, igen, meg. Próbálok összedobni a TryJam-re most 3 óra alatt egy játékot, de ezt lehet, hogy mondtam már itt útközben, ami valami olyas, mint a Boulder Dash, csak mégsem az, hanem egy klón. És most éppen a játékosnak a mozgásával foglalkozom. Oké, hol tartottam? Igen, ott vagyunk, hogy ez itt működik. Igen, csak azt akarom megcsinálni, hogy most már az input az ne annyilakkal menjen. És ha nem gond, akkor visszaváltok angolra többnyire, de majd lehet, hogy váltogatni fogok magyar meg angol között félúton egy párszor. So let's make some keyboard events. Yeah, classic ones. Up, down, left, right. W, S, A, and D. Oops. Okay. Should be good. Okay, now it works with the WASD control as well as the arrow keys, but I'm going to turn that off, I think, for now at least. And add them as an option right here. What engine do I use? I use Construct 3, which is kind of a beginner-friendly engine, I think. I can call it that. It works in a browser. I'm running Chromium, by the way. This is just the installed version, which is literally just a Chromium tab in kind of a full screen mode or something. So yeah, you can, if you ever want to try it, or if you haven't heard of it and find it friendly, you can just open in Chromium, preferably editor.construct.net, and it's literally the same thing that I'm using in this separate window in this one. It's a pretty good engine. It's primarily, of course, for making web games, and everything that you do runs in the browser, but you can also export it to Windows, Linux, Mac. There's I think an Xbox, some sort of modern Xbox platform support in progress. I'm not sure about that, but it definitely works in the browser. So yeah, it's pretty good. And it's really easy to use, and there are a bunch of pre-made behaviors that you can use, so you don't have to make a bunch of, for example, movement controls, this sort of thing. I just stuck a pre-made behavior called tile movement on the player. I gave it a few parameters so it knows where the tiles are, and boom, it's working. And I'm literally moving the player when I'm pressing a button using this action, simulate tile movement, pressing up. This is it. And I just found out that I forgot to do this. Okay, so now if I run the game, it hopefully should work with the WASD controls and the arrow keys as well. That's good. Okay, so next thing, I'm going to add a boulder. You're very welcome. I'm going to add the boulder, and I'm going to add the dirt block. Yeah, that's what I was doing. This looks pretty good, I think. Or yeah, maybe one of these. Okay. Let me just grab something from here. I will definitely need this, because this is going to be the boulder. I'm going to copy it right now and make it into a sprite that is separate from the tile map. Okay, I'm going to remove the background once again. I don't need that. And what I want to do is already add physics behavior to it and make it a circle collision shape and just see where it goes. And for the tile map, I will also need to do solid behavior for collision with the player, and I will also need to add physics so it collides with the boulder, which has physics behavior as well. So now what I need to decide is what to do with these collision polygons and which actual tiles to use. So yeah, let's just try it at this point. So the physics behavior has this switch called immovable, which means that it will be stuck where it is. It's not going to move anywhere. It's basically solid, as in the it means the same in physics as it means the same in I'm going to get confused. I'm just going to show you. So if I move the player and now I press right, I cannot cross these solid tiles because they are made of rock and bricks and stuff. And also there's this little situation, because this is because I think the player might also need to have physics with immovable set to enabled, or the question is, do I want the player to be able to push the rocks or not? I think it would be better if they are not able to push the rocks. The rocks are heavy. So I'm just going to add physics at first to the player. Also turn on immovable. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it does weird stuff, but that's fine, I think. I'm also going to change the bounding box to something like this. Offset it a little bit. Yeah, and I already came up with this idea. I'm not going to use physics on the player. I'm just going to make sure that it's not able to cross this. So I will need to put solid, I think, on this. The issue is that the time movement behavior is probably going to, this is fine, but this is not fine. For example, I can go to the right at this point. Yeah. Maybe if I make it a little smaller and also change the origin right to the center, this could solve the issues or not. We'll see. Okay, this is better, and I cannot push the rock away. That is fine. This is totally fine. Okay, what I need to do, however, is to decide on this dirt tile for sure. And I think I'm just going to choose this, for example. But change the color a little bit to something a little lighter. I think I'm just going to steal this color. I like this. I'm going to save it to the what the fuck is it called in Photoshop? Swatches, right? Okay, so I'm going to do a real little retouching right here. And now it's a dirt block, which is cool. And right now a friend is coming to the office. That's fine. Cső, Viktor, mi a helyzet? Jól van. Streamelek. Amúgy chat. Mi a helyzet? Nem, it's alright. Merre?
Sportcsarnok.
Jól van. Right. I'm not sure how to remove these so they don't screw everything up, so I'm just going to make an experiment real quick. Right, I'm going to need some variables to store the different kinds of tiles, tile IDs. This, for example, I can't even freaking read it. Okay, so it's 518 for the dirt one. I'm just going to make a constant and refer to it right here. So what this does is it picks, if it checks if there is dirt tile right to the right of the player when the player presses D or right. And if there is, I'm going to clear it. Remove, no, erase, right? Yeah, erase tile. Okay, cool. And I'm just going to copy this like this. This is really early, crappy, glued together proof of concept bullcrap. Ooh, nice. The problem is that the player is also moving. So yeah, if this happens, then I do not want the player to move. Only if there's no tile to the right. Okay. Yeah, I think I know what's the problem here. Yes, I'm going to need to create a special tile, which is basically just a blank one. I'm going to delete this one. I'm not going to need it. This is going to be tile 0, and it still has to have a collision polygon, so like this, and collide. And when this tile is erased, no, it doesn't have to be erased. It actually needs to be replaced with the empty one. So set tile, good. I'm going to copy this expression. And yes, tile 0, but just for good measure, I'm going to turn this into a constant as well and use it like this. So tile placeholder. Placeholder means that it's going to be an empty one in a few seconds, in a second probably. And this means that the picture, you know, the little dirt sprite or whatever tile is deleted, but right now it's impossible to move to this place because it's also still a solid tile there. It's just an invisible one. And when this happens, I want a timer to start and the tile to be removed, I think. So the player is not able to move right there, right away. So I'm going to need a timer on this, and I'm going to rename it back to tile map because I'm not going to remove it. I'm just going to use it as is. Okay, so behaviors. I'm going to need a timer behavior. And I'm going to need a timer as well. So these are going to live in a different event sheet anyway, in macros. And I probably need these ones as well at one point. There's a good chance I need these ones. And also, yes, like this. So, and yeah, the timer, which I was also talking about a second ago. And this I'm going to name remove tile. Like, it's a timer that triggers an actual erasure of a tile, basically. So when this happens, I want the tile map to start the timer. This one, no, this one. And the duration is, I'm just going to put this, and right away I'm going to create another constant which holds this value, so I can just reference it once again and not, you know, have a bunch of literal values all over. So tile remove, no, remove tile, just like this. Yeah, what did I use for the timer? The same, good. this, yeah, and I am going to change it to this. Good. So now when the timer is up, I need to actually remove the tile. And the question is, how do I do that exactly? Yeah, I'm going to do something that is not particularly pretty, but the timer cannot have additional data in it, and I really need to save the position of the tile that I need to remove. So I'm just going to do this on timer, but yeah, this is suboptimal. I thought that there's going to be a condition that says on any timer, but there isn't one. Never mind. Okay, I'm just going to do something else. Make an instance variable. Also crap solution, but it's going to be fine, I think. So tile to remove X and tile to remove Y is going to hold temporarily the positions, the tile positions of the tiles that are going to be removed when the timer expires. Something like that. Okay, so set value and yeah, I'm tired of referencing the same things like this, so I'm just going to create an additional local variable and store this. So now I can just say tile X and tile Y and do exactly the, oh, no, I still didn't need this. Do exactly the same here. And also I will need to set this to those local variables. And when the timer expires, I'm just going to check the, or remove the tile, erase the tile, this one. Timer.tile to remove X, and the same with Y. Possibly. I think the 0.5 second delay might be a little high, but let's check it out. Let's check if it even works. I'm not so sure. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, I removed it. There's a delay. There's a pretty good delay. Let's just try it again. So if I keep pressing right, yeah, it's all right. I'm just going to change it to something a little, maybe something like 0.4. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, the player really needs to take a chill pill when removing dirt from under a rock and not move below it. So, okay, this is cool. Now the issue is that it only works for, you know, when you are moving to the right, and I really need to do this at least for this one. And I'm thinking if I need it in any other direction. Now the player can still, you know, move up. Yeah. So I'm going to do this whole shindig inside a function or a custom action, and yeah, I'm going to use a custom action on the player object type, and on input is going to be the name of it, and it should receive a direction, which is a string, and this is where I'm going to use these little constants, these little macros, which have these little, you know, directional values, literal ones inside of them. So when this happens, I'm just going to say on input and dir up. I just noticed something. This is an uppercase B for no good reason. Okay, so I'm literally going to almost copy everything. So if the direction is dir up, and I'm going to create 4 more else if versions, dir down, dir left, and dir right. How are we doing on time? Yeah, it's pretty good still. The deadline is at 11 o'clock, so I still have a better part of 2 hours, a little more actually. Good. So I'm going to remove these for now. No, I'm not going to remove it, but yeah. So when this is called, I will need to call the on input custom action. Like this. And this is where I need to do this little thing. I'm going to name it. No, I'm going to keep it this way, but later I will rename it, I think. So when the direction is up, I need to calculate the positions of these and also do the same for these ones as well. So I'm also going to create a constant which just says tile size, and it's the value 12, so I can reference it later. And if I ever change it, if I ever want to change it, I just change the value of the constant. Okay, so when it's moving up, I need to calculate it like this. It's essentially the same for the down movement, but it's plus 12. And I'm just going to copy this here and change this to minus. So this just calculates the tile to the right or the left or the, I don't know, north or south of the player, and stores the tile position in these little numbers, I mean local variables. And now I need to check if there is dirt tile in those positions, like this. And if there is, then this should hopefully run. And if there isn't, then I need to make the actual movement, which means that I will need to copy this as well. Without these, of course. And the simulate tile movements things should go right here with the actual directions, of course. Okay. Right. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but let's try it. And I said that I want to rename these to target tile, which is the movement's target basically, or the direction the player wants to go or do something. Okay, this is fine. This worked before, but now the $5,000 question, is this going to work? Yes, it is. Good. That's pretty good, I think. Now I can remove tiles, I mean dirt tiles, but not other ones. Yeah. The physics behavior is surprisingly working fine as well. Usually I have issues right at the beginning when I'm using it because I'm an idiot and I do not know enough about it. So, yep, okay. So we have dirt tiles, we have actual solid ones, rocks and bricks, which is fine. The question is that do I want these little sprites all over the place? I haven't even renamed them, so okay, rock. Definitely not. So what I'm going to do instead is just use the time map to make, you know, these little rocks, but when the level starts, it needs to be replaced with the actual rock sprites, and these should be removed. So I'm going to move this one to a different layout right here. It's going to serve as a template, and there's only going to be one in the whole game. And I will also need to retrieve the ID of this tile. It's of, good God, 1343. Good. And now I also need to do something that runs right when the time map is created. And I also need to tidy up some things because this is horrible. So I'm going to create a different event sheet called a player. I don't know if it's going to be multiplayer. I'm guessing not because I only have 2 hours. So I'm just going to, I usually use a nondescript humanoid. I can't find it, never mind. Okay, I'm just going to use it. This one, okay. And I'm going to tidy things up a bit. So this is going to move right here. And all these input handling stuff needs to happen on this event sheet. So these ones. Okay. And this is a timer, so I'm going to use this sheet. And there's also this uncreated thing that I started doing. I'm going to move it to this sheet. And I'm also going to make a custom action for the time map. So yeah, this is fine. No, it's not. It looks like crap. Good. So I'm going to create a custom action called init, which initializes the time map, and this is going to run right here. I'm also going to save everything and soon move to a new project version, I think, but I just want to make this little rocks thing work out, so I'm going to put an additional one right here. And so when the time map is created, it's pigged, and right now I'm going to need to do a double for iteration. So I'm wondering if it has, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have an integrated one, that is fine. I'm just going to do a for, let's start with the, I don't know, x. Start is 0. The end index is the width of the time map divided by the tile size constant, I think. -1, I think, because since we are 0 indexed, yes. And I'm also going to need a second one, which does exactly the same, but with the height. So it should go through all the tiles, each of them, and if it encounters a rock tile, which is basically just a placeholder. Yes, then naming convention. So then it should replace it with an actual rock sprite. Okay. Now I'm just going to need a comparison, I think. So tile at is the one I'm going to use, and it just needs a x and y tile position variable. So I'm going to use loop index x in the first one and loop index y in the second one, and this should spit out the ID of the tile that is at the position that these double 4 cycles are at. And if this equals to tile rock, then we need to do an erasure once again at loop index x and y. And also, can these spawn? No, they cannot, never mind. So they just, I just need to create an object called rock on the main layer. Oh crap, I forgot to create this macro. So, okay. So back to this layer main, and the x position is tile to position x. I think this is going to be the one that I want, yeah, because it expects tile x. So possibly something like this. Okay. Very cool. Looks like it's working. I'm just going to draw some more solid stuff right here, for example. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that as well. I mean, I was pretty sure that it's going to have a bunch of issues and bugs and stuff, but I lucked out, so it does not. Good. Now the other issue, it's not a real issue, but I really want to something like the rocks shouldn't just, you know, fall straight down. They should have a little, I don't know, additional direction that makes them move around a little bit, but I'm not sure how to consistently do that. I could give them an additional impulse, for example, but I don't want to make everything too random, so I don't know. Let me just try something. So when the timer is up, it erases the tile, which makes the stuff above it fall. Oh, also, I want to try something. What happens if I put a bunch of rocks on top of each other, because they have circular collision masks? So this is all right. Okay. That's fine. Okay, I'm just going to quickly try something. So I'm going to look for a rock. Right above the tile that is removed in this case, and I'm going to give it a little impulse, just a little bit, or maybe torque, I don't know, you know, rotational force. Okay, let's try it with the impulse first. Impulse at an angle, The impulse should be something really, really low because we are in low pixel resolution territory. So, and the angle should be, I don't know, randomized. I'm just going to make a decision between 0 and 180, which means left or right, or technically right or left. This is going to probably be suboptimal, but let's try it. Okay, no, nothing happened. Okay. I'm not sure if it's picked, but I'm going to increase the impulse and check it. No, nothing happens. All right, why is that? Yeah, faster falling is probably, you mean the delay shouldn't be this high, or? Cső Viktor. Oksa. Jó van, oksa. Rendi csak. Oh crap, I know what's happening. Yeah. I need to convert these to actual positions. Because it did not pick anything in this case. Yeah, it's a little confusing to have tile X either refer to a position in the whole layout, a classic XY coordinate, or just a position in the tile map. Yeah, okay, so this is going to be screwed up, definitely. Yeah. It's a little high. I have the delay, Draftman, because I want the player to be able to, you know, quickly go below the tile that is removed. But yeah, you might be onto something that we need to immediately make the rock fall. This is something that we can... Yeah, now it's going to, you know, the player moved because stuff falls on him. And now I cannot even move because, yeah, this is going to cause issues, definitely. Yikes. Okay, so I need to do something with the collision of the player and the rocks. So, why is this happening? This has physics and this has solids as well. Right. I think I'm going to remove the solid behavior, or not remove it completely at this point, just disable it, which means that the player could essentially cross it like this, which is not optimal, but I can, you know, work around that. But if I do something like this, yeah, the player should really not be affected by the rocks. They shouldn't move around. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to decrease the impulse to an even lower value and possibly change the angle as well. Yeah, this is a little better. But still, it's not realistic at all. Yeah, I'm going to try the other one, which is not a I don't know, positional force or whatever it's called. So it's torque. It's a little rotation that it gets. Okay, this is something that I kind of wanted. So okay, this could turn out to be all right. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the player colliding with the rock. Yeah, and also let's check this delay stuff. Let's halve it. Yeah, the collision polygon, I mean not polygon, the circle is a little bit off, but yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to deal with that. Okay, I still have almost 2 hours to go. Where do I want this to go? This is the question. I don't think that I want the player to jump because it's time movement based and it's mostly fine. Rocks are moved by physics. Yeah, this is basically alright. This is kind of working. I definitely need some kind of pickup, by the way, which I might want to implement right now because it should be the primary objective, I think, for the game. Just like in Boulder Dash, the player needs to pick stuff up. And to pick stuff up, they obviously need to get it there, so... the question is that, do I want to keep this time movement stuff or not? Hexagon collision, yeah, this is also a good idea. It's pretty low res anyway. I definitely could. The thing about the construct physics behavior is that it kind of pads the collision polygon. So it's a little, you know, there's a little border or something on the outside. So I'm just going to use the magic of gas polygon shape and possibly move these a little closer and see how it looks. Although this is actually an octagon, but that's fine, I think. Okay, so I changed this. Now it has this little helper stuff on it, and I changed the collision mask to the collision polygon instead of a circle. It's good, although now the torque is not really working because it's a flatter, you know, surface basically below the rock, which is fine. I'm going to need to do something about the collision between the player and the rock, because I turned the solid behavior off and now it's making weird things because, yeah, it's not colliding, is it? Okay, to do that I'm going to make changes right here. So when I grab the target tile, I also need to make a check if there's a rock right there. But how am I going to do that? Because I could do something like this, overlapping point, but this is just a point and not a proper rectangle, for example. This could be possibly a better solution. So now it's going to check if there's an overlapping, rock. So now I cannot move to the right, but the problem is that for some reason now I cannot move to the left either. So this is not great. Yeah, I'm just going to use the overlapping point check for now. Oh shit, no, so sorry. Once again. Is this the... no, yeah. Okay, my brain is getting fried. So this actually stores a proper position. Okay, this is fine then. Okay. All good points, Draftman. Let me check if it's better. So something like I'm just going to make a copy of this if I ever need it again. Turn off the animation so it doesn't, you know, go on to the second frame, and I'm just going to set this to the boundary. I'm going to need the pixel grid and the 1x1 pixel grid and the snap to the edges, I think. No, the other one, but never mind. This is going to be fine. Although this might introduce some additional problems. I don't know if they are going to stand on top of each other anyway. No, they're not. Yeah. I think I'm going to go back to this one at first, but let's revisit that in a second. Okay. This is alright. The problem is that players can still cross the rocks. I really did not think that whole physics versus tile map thing through, and now it's going to fall on my head. I need to come up with a solution that is easy to implement, and I can move on to something else like the pickup and level design and naming the game, and oh shit, yeah. At first I'm going to create a new version of the project, and I'm also going to make an export just for fun. What the hell? Oh, it's still not published anyway. This is fine. Automatically starts on page load. This is fine. Let's make it public. Although it's crap, but you know, progress. Okay. So the game is now available on itch.io. Great. Okay, so no, okay, I totally confused myself with this. So yeah. Still not great. I can still cross this with the player, so I'm going to X and Y. Okay, this is getting worse. So right, I might have an idea, but it's half-baked, of course. I'm just going to think a little bit more on this issue, because I think this is probably going to be the hardest problem in this whole game, and yeah, I might need to take a different direction entirely if I don't come up with a good solution. Okay, I might have made a mistake before, because right now, yeah, this is working fine. I moved it to a different location, but yeah, okay, this is not great, but still, I cannot go to the right if I'm standing here or here. I can still do it if I'm standing here, which is a bit weird, but I think I can still work with this. Now the question is that what if I do something like this? Okay, so the origin is in the middle, right? Yes, okay. It's a bit weird, because I would figure that the middle of the player's position and this, and you know, it still should be inside the collision polygon. If I move, you know, to the right, then it should check if this position is overlapping, and I'm pretty sure that it is. So I might have a hunch. gonna do something else. Where's my player? This, yeah, okay, so it has this collision polygon. I think I might just want to use this. Possibly make it a little lower so it doesn't really cause any additional extra spaces to okay, I'm not sure where I'm going with this sentence, never mind. So what I want to do is do the collision check the old-fashioned way, not the overlapping point, but the actual overlapping at an offset thing. All right, so I'm going to change a few things around here. I actually use a different variable to store just the offset and then add it to the tile map position, tile X and Y thing. So this may or may not work. Okay, so okay, this part is fine, but now I need to use these variables just a little more cleanup. And I think I'm not going to need, oh, I still do. Ah, yeah, never mind. Whoops. Okay, so I got this offset thing. Now I need to use it right here. Offset X and offset Y. And yeah, if it picks a rock, then it does nothing. And in any other case, then it goes through all the directions and moves the player. Okay. This is fine, this is also fine, and this is also fine. Now I cannot move to the right. That's cool. Okay. It's getting there, I think. So I can definitely not move. Yeah. Right, okay. This is surprisingly okay now. One other issue that I have is I need to see the grid. I mean, the player needs to see the grid, and right now there is no grid, so I'm just going to make one, I think, which also means that I'm going to need an additional tiled background object, 12 by 12, and I'm just going to make it so something like this. I'm guessing should suffice. And I'm going to move this to the object templates and dynamically create it during runtime when the tile map is initialized. So it covers basically the whole tile map. So it might be a little light. I'm just going to choose a gray color. Okay. So when the tile map is created, I want to create another object, which is called tiled background, which is surprisingly a well-adjusted name for this. Do it on the main layer, and this has origins in the top left corner. I think the tile map and the tiled background also has the top left corner as an origin. So I'm just going to use the tile maps X and Y positions, which is basically 0 right now, but this might change in the future. So this creates the object, and I'm also going to move it to the bottom, definitely below the tile map, and I also need to resize it. So tiled background, set size, and I'm just going to copy the tile maps width and height. Okay. All right, it looks more or less fine. There's a hard decision to cross the pixel barriers, but I'm already crossing the pixel barriers and doing mixel stuff because of the physics. So yeah, I'm just going to do a little trick to have this this line a little what's the opposite of thick? Thinner. Yeah, this is the word I was looking for. Good God. Okay, and I'm going to do this. Just to scale it to the half of the original one. It's better, but I might want to add an additional line right here and here, so the player looks centered. Okay, this is fine. I mean, not great, but not horrible either. I might want to use an even thinner line. Let's just draw a border. And I'm definitely going to need a much darker gray color, so something like this. Oh, and I forgot to change the scale, so let's go 25%. Yeah, I mean, it's all right, I think. This just helps the player to see which tiles are occupied and which tiles are not. For example, he can move to the position right now to the left because there's a rock overlapping. So if I do this, I can do this. This is fine. Yeah, the player still cannot push the rocks, which is fine. Do we still have the torque thing? Yeah, let me try something. Because I kind of like the rocks moving about when they are falling. I mean, when they are essentially, yeah, no, when they are falling, yeah. Good. Yes, but this, the whole thing was due to the collision polygon being changed from a circle. But we have an issue. We had an issue with the circle, right? Okay. Now it seems to be working okay, I think. Yeah, this is a problem. The player needs to be... Needs to either deflect the rocks or be damaged by them or something. And I'm voting for the latter one. Yeah. If the rocks collide with the player should suffer like I don't know, a health damage or something. And yeah, seeing that I only have 1.5 hours left, yes, I think it's time to move on to actual mechanics, and I'm going to make a list. Player health pickup, gold pickup, something like that. UI element as well. Rocks damage player. I'm going to move this to a and I'm going to make little checkboxes and make a little to do. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to reach the bottom of the list, but let's crack on. So, and I have zero idea what to do with the level designs. Fuck. Yeah. Good. Right. Okay. So, since the movement is working fine, I guess. I mean, not great, but it's all right. I'm going to create a new build for the web. So if anyone is watching, I'm talking about you, Draftman. You know, they can give it a try. Yes, and go itch. Let me just check something real quick. Yeah. Okay. This is almost all right. Okay. So let's crack on. I'm going to need a health for the player. HP. And it should start with, I don't know, not one, but I'm going to create an initializing function for the player as well and set it to a better amount, which I might need to define a constant for. So no, screw this. I'm just going to use it, do it the easy way. I'm going to give them 5 health points, and I'm going to need to create a UI an object which displays the health. So a symbol would be fine, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, I have a UI text in the template, so I'm just going to use this. Health, or no, health is fine. Maybe move this to, I mean, rename it. So the UI is going to be in white, I guess, or, you know, a little gray something, and I'm going to need a font which works a little better in this pixelated universe. So I'm just going to go for one of the classic fonts, I think. Let me check if it looks fine or not. This might not be readable enough. Why? Okay. Okay. No, this is okay, I think. I mean, not great, but I'm going to halve the grid. Or even decrease it even more. So this is going to be the health display. And to display the health, I'm definitely going to need some sort of function which updates this object. So for this, I usually use this event sheet and just create an update UI function which picks the text which has the role set to health, and I haven't done a macro for it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to change the name to player because I might need to add, you know, additional stuff, not just health to it. So role player, good. And it's going to display using set text the player's health with a little prefix. Oh, and now that the string sub has landed in construct, I'm going to use it. So health and this placeholder, and then it should be substituted to this. Good. Right. So when this is rendered, or when the player is basically spawned, this should already be updated. So I was talking about creating a custom action for the player called init, and this is going to take care of calling the update UI function. And of course, for this to work, I'm going to create a player init call, or whatever it's called. Player init, good. When it's created, it calls this one and it updates the UI. Let me check. Hey Draftman, glad you're back. It's going pretty alright, I think. I'm creating a little health and player damage, you know, feature. Right now the player has this little grid to move on. It's now visible, and they cannot move to this position to the right, for example, right now. But if they remove the dirt, things are going to fall. I changed back to the circle collision mask, by the way, for the rocks, so they are easier to, you know, roll around. But this might cause issues because there was a good reason to change it to the hexagon that you suggested. So, you know, we might move back on that. But right now it's possible to move to the right positions and not move to the wrong positions. So for example, I can go here, which is all right. And I figured that if a rock collides with the player, there should be like a little, you know, I don't know, red flashy tween, which signifies that the player is taking damage. There maybe a little timer should start, so the player is invincible for, I don't know, a second or something, and they should get the hell out of the way of the rocks. So, and of course, in this case, the health should decrease, and the lose condition is going to be when the health reaches 0. So this is where we are at. And I also made a little list, and I'm working on the first bit, which is the player health and the UI, which is done at this point. Yeah, thanks for that. I mean, it looks all right. It doesn't look good, I think, but yeah. Okay, so the player has the health, but it does not have yet the ability to be damaged. So I'm just going to create a tween behavior on it, so we can do something like color animation on it. And for this, I'm going to create a macro called tween, and I either do something like tween color to signify there's a color tween, or just go straight tween damage, which is a little less specific. And I'm going to make a little collision event, so I'm going to need this e-collisions event sheet, and simply do something like if the player collides with another object, which is the rock, and if the player is not playing the tween damage tween, then they should take damage. So For this, I'm also going to create a custom action. I'm going to assign it to the player. I'm going to name it damage, or maybe change health. No, just damage. And move it right here. Oh no, this is fine. I'm just going to close it and okay. So when this occurs, there should be a little tween starting. So player, I'm going to set the color first to red, and I'm just going to be really blunt about this. So red. This is a 100 scale, not a 255 scale, by the way. And also, just to be safe, I'm going to stop the current tween, should it occur, but it really shouldn't. And now start another tween, a new one. Called tween damage. The property is color. The end value is white, which is RGB X 100. So it tweens from red to white, and it should tween in a second, for example. And we're going to create a nice little easing, which I never seem to remember which one I want in this kind of scenario. So I'm just going to take a look at the easings.net cheat sheet, which is a godsend. So it should be really red at first, and then it should slowly fade out to white. So ease in expo, I think, is fine. Could be. In exponential, this string complete, no, definitely not. And of course, we also need to decrease the health of the player. And just by 1. And we also need to check if the player is dead at this point, because if they are, then I might want to do a different tween. Yeah, so not 0, but less or equal to 0. So if they are dead, I'm going to do a different tween, and if they are not dead, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to fade him out, I think. So turn him red and fade him out also in an exponential manner. And this time I'm also going to destroy them. And I also, now that I have a health variable on the player, I also want to make sure that they cannot move around when they are dead. So the on-input custom action should really check if the player has health over 0. So value health and is greater than 0, I think. Right, let's check. I forgot to update the UI, definitely. Okay. Did I do the collision? Yeah, I think I did. Okay, so if the player collides with a rock and the player is, I forgot to invert this, is not playing the damage tween. Yeah, this was the issue. And also we need to refresh the UI display when the damage is taking place. So right here. Let's just save this. I might want to create a new version of the project soon anyway. Okay, so okay, damage is taken. This is cool. Another. Okay, I don't really like the red, but it's fine. I think I'm going to I'm going to need the color for this one. And I also, I think I want to paint the player white. Crap. What? It's not the same color? What the hell? This is really peculiar. Okay, never mind. So I either want to keep the player white like this. Yeah, it's pretty good, I think. Or I could apply a color overlay, but I don't think I'm going to do that. This is fine. Okay, let's make a new version of, at first I'm going to make a new build. And I also wanted to check out the death animation or whatever, the tween. So let's just change the player's health to 1 and immediately kill him. Okay, fine. And in this case, I should also check if it's possible to move or not. Okay, subversion works. Okay, it's not possible to move, so that's good. I'm going to create a new build, super quick. And I also only have about an hour left, which is an issue. I really need to implement a crap ton of these little features and then create an actual level. Right. Rocks damage player check. Health pickup is the next. Also going to put on something, just a second. It's a little chilly in here, which is peculiar because it's really sunny weather outside. I might open the window at this point. Yeah. Okay, good. So health pickup is the next step. Whoops, that was OBS. All right. So I'm going to look for a good health pickup. This is a classic potion, or we could go with some food, possibly. Yeah, this is going to be the one. Just a good old potion. And for this, I'm also going to just use the time up to spawn one. Where was it? There it is. Okay, this, for example, is, I think, a sufficient one. Yeah, I'm just going to remove the background and also make a copy of this because I'm going to create a sprite in object templates. Health pickup. Or just name it pickup and use the animation name to signify what sort of pickup it is, because I'm going to need a gold pickup as well, and I can use the same object to do the same thing basically. So for this I'm going to create a macro which is essentially an object type, not literally, but it's an animation name called health. And I'm going to reference this. Yeah. So I also need to grab the ID of this little objects. Okay, it's 2502. Health pickup. Good. And while I'm here, I think I'm going to just make the gold one as well. It will be faster. And for this, I also need to choose a tile. This looks pretty good. What else? This is pretty good as well. Oh no, this is this is perfect. Okay. This is 4740. I'm going to remove the background once again. What the okay, 4740 it was, right? What am I doing? Oh, right, you're leaving. Bye, Draftman, thanks for sticking around, because you're Benny still. I think the VOD is going to be up, yeah, pretty sure. If it's not, you know, technically impossible, but it should be, because I'm muting the soundtrack in the second channel, which Twitch uses for the VOD, so should be there. And if it's not too embarrassing, I'm going to put the whole thing on YouTube as well. So, pick up, and I'm going to need a bunch of little events for this to work. But first, I need to initialize them, and at first, I'm going to need to spawn things, just like I do here. So, if the tile is of the tile type health pickup, then yeah, it needs to be erased and it needs to be spawned like this, and the pickup, just to be safe, the animation should be anim health. I need to create another one for the gold as well, so like this. Good. Where was I? Timer, yeah. So this is fine, and we are going to do the same for this. It might be, there might be a cleaner way to do this, but yeah, I'm not going to go there, not today. Okay, so pickup is a special object that has two animations. It either looks like a little flask, this is the health pickup, or it looks like gold. I'm just going to scramble a bunch of them. Okay. Also, I'm going to create an instance variable called health max, which should have the value 5, and the health should really have the value 1. And when the player is initialized, I just want to player set value health to player.health max. So this way I can limit the amount of health points for the player later when the healing process occurs. Okay, did I make a new version of the project, or I was only talking about it? I'm pretty sure the latter one. Yeah, let's do this v3. And right, and I should really check if the objects are spawning, but it's going to look exactly like the timer version, so I'm just going to go ahead and make the collisions. So if the player is colliding with another object that is a pickup, then and I'm really just going to do the dirty thing here. So I'm going to check the animation if it's a health pickup or if it's a gold pickup. Good. And I'm also going to need a variable for I'm just going to store it at the player gold. This is going to start from 0, and when the player starts picking up stuff, it just increments. The easiest thing to do. So player set value, no, not set value, sorry. Player add 2 gold 1, and we also need to destroy the pickup, so pickup destroy. I'm just going to do that right here, so it occurs both in the health and the gold version as well. So, and when the health is picked up, oh, and also we need to update the UI, of course. So when the health is picked up, then the health should really be incremented like this, but I'm going to limit the amount of health the player can have, and they can just, you know, drink the potion if they have max health, and the potion will be gone, but they will not heal. Or what if I'm going in a different direction. I'm just going to leave the potion there in this case. So if the pickup is a health one and the player value compare instance variable, the health is equals to, the health equals to player dot health max. If it's less, then it should be destroyed, and the player's health should also increase. Add 2 health 1. Okay. And in both cases the UI should be updated. Yeah. Okay, let's try it. Okay, the gold is picked up. It's not displayed yet on the UI, but I'm going to do something like this. And now I cannot pick up the health potion, which is fine because I have health at the max. But now I'm damaged, so... Okay, something I think is screwed up. The collision polygons of the pickups needs to be a little smaller, because construct doesn't really make doesn't distinguish between overlapping and sides touching, or whatever it's called. So basically, if two objects are right next to each other and their collision polygons are touching, then it basically means it's an overlap. So I'm just going to do this on both animations. Yeah, this is fine. And now I should really only collide with the pickup if I move to the tile and not before. Not if I move to a neighboring one. So let's check it. I'm going to take some take some damage and then try to pick up the potion. Crash. Good. Okay, this is all right, I think. Okay, I'm going to need to supplement this, however. Health 0, and I'm also going to do, can I do a new line like this? Let's check it. Gold and 1, and player.gold. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't. That's fine. I mean, it's not great, but yeah. I mean, at this point I could just do it the old-fashioned way. Health and this one. Then a new line, and then gold, and then just display the variable called gold. Still not updating? Why is that? Okay, now it is. Good. This looks weird. I don't think it's going to fix anything, but if when pickups are spawned, I'm just going to move them to the bottom. Austin, think, hello. Hi there. What are you up to on this really nice sunny Monday? I mean, it's sunny here. I'm not sure if it's sunny where you are. Okay, it looks a little better, so I'm going to leave it there. How is it going? I'm making a game for TryJam and I'm within the 1 hour limit at this point. Let's check the timer. Yep, 56 minutes left, and I do not have a proper level design, and I do not have win condition, lose condition. I mean, it's coming along. There's kind of a loose condition at this point, but it's not handled well, and I really need some level design. I'm making a super simple game that is essentially a wonky version of Boulder Dash. It has a player that you can move on a grid, you can pick up gold stuff, you cannot cross the rock and brick walls, and you can also remove dirt. And it makes these rocks fall, which is not exactly how it looks like in Boulder Dash, because it's also time movement, and I'm doing something else. I'm doing physics in this case. So yeah, this is the game. It's not a game, but this is a prototype's prototype. Right, okay, I'm going to need a super simple display for the game over scenario and also for the win condition. I'm just going to create 2 more objects called game over is one of them. I'm going to make it centered like this. It's on the UI layer, right? Okay, good. And I'm also going to increase the font size a little. Oh, crap. I'm looking for a strike or stroke or whatever it's called for the text. There's an outline, or there's outline back. I don't know which I'm usually using, so I'm just going to give this a go. And I can also control the thickness, right? So line thickness, yeah. Line thickness equals to, I don't know, 10. Yes. Okay, this is now a little bit more readable. Sorry. So this is going to pop up when the player is dead. It looks horrible. This font is not good. I'm going to change the font. I'm just going to go for the classic press start 2p. It's pretty retro, I think. And it's a bit more readable, even though this looks cool, but not readable. So I'm just going to change all text objects font to this one. yeah, and I'm going to remove this font. So it's a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to decrease the sizes like this. I'm also going to change the origin of this to the center and center it vertically as well, and do this. Align, viewport, center, vertical. Good. And now I can just, you know, stick a little sign behavior in it, which has a little period and does a little wobble with the angle. I mean, I don't know why I bother, but yeah, this is fine. Okay, so this should be hidden by default, so I'm going to turn this off. I'm also going to create a macro called game over for these new text object roles. So I'm going to make one called game over, and I'm also going to make another one called congratulations, which should be exactly the same, but it should have a different text. This is really not the best way to do it, but I'm going to use this because I'm out of time in a few minutes, basically. I mean, not a few minutes, but yeah, a good half hour. Horrible. Yeah, never mind. Good. So the win condition should occur when the player picks up the last gold. And yeah. And in this case, I should probably show the yeah, okay. I just try to think things through. So I'm going to check this part. This is where the gold is disappearing when the player picks it up. I'm going to need to check how many gold pieces are left after delay, of course. And yeah, I'm just going to create some functions, and I'm going to create them right here. Check lose condition. No, yeah, why not? Check lose condition and check win condition. This is really not how I usually do things, but I don't care at this point. I really need to get into level design. So check win condition should just enumerate the amount of gold that is left on the level. So no, sorry. Compare two values, pickups, no. Pickups is playing, no. Playing anim gold. If there are any, then this shouldn't do anything, but if there are none, then we really need to grab the right text, which has the role congratulations, and just bluntly display it, make it visible. Good. And the lose condition is basically just yeah, the player, if the player is dead. I'm just going to change it to on lose condition and simply do exactly the same, but with roll game over and make this one visible. And I'm going to call this when the player is dead because I know exactly when this happens. I'm just going to need to add an additional really crappy delay. So collisions, this is when the player is damaged, and this is when the player is dead. So if it's dead, I'm going to wait for, I mean, how much? Okay, it wins to invisible in 1 second, so I'm going to wait 2 seconds, and I'm just going to call lose condition. That's it. And for the gold pickup stuff, I'm going to just call check win condition after a real small delay. I mean, it could be anything, because after the gold is picked up, the congratulations text should appear relatively quickly. So let's check it out. Okay, so let's pick up the gold. Whoops, I added the sign behavior to all texts, and now this is moving about. Not great. Good. Once again. Yeah. Okay, this is a damage. Right. I'm going to heal. And I'm going to pick up the last piece of gold. And now, congratulations, bye now. Good, this is working fine. To test the lose condition, I'm just going to change health max to 1 as well, so the player is killed right away on the first damage. Okay. Press R to restart, and it literally refreshes the browser. So this is the solution to the scenario. Never mind. So I'm going to check the list. Game over, restart, done. Win condition, done. Level design is coming up, and I don't really like level design because I'm crap at it, but I'm going to do it. And also sounds. Yeah, there's a great dilemma. Should I do sounds? I really should, but I don't know. Also, if I'm going to do the level design, I might need a bigger level. So I need to create a lerping camera controller or something. Probably. Yeah. Let me just think about this for a second. Yeah, I'm just going to do the usual, which is I create a sprite called camera helper, and I'm going to make it 12 by 12, make it a big old white circle, and it's going to be invisible anyway, so it really doesn't matter how it looks. And I'm just going to put it a little above the player. I'm going to assign it to the scroll to behavior, which means that it will act as the camera. And yeah, no need to be visible. Collisions also doesn't matter. So what I'm just going to do at every tick is to scroll, lerp this to the position of the player. And that's it. So I haven't used the eCycles event sheet yet. This is where I usually do the every tick, every n seconds, start of the layout, things like that. So every tick, camera helper, set position, and I'm just going to do a little lerp. So solve.x, or I can say camera helper.x, and player.x is the target. And I'm just going to do a little 0.1 lerp thing. Let's check it out. And right now I think the layout is It's okay, it's not unbounded, so this is fine. Okay. It's a little bit too fast, I think, but it's not that bad. I'm just going to create a constant camera lerp time or whatever it's called. No, I'm just going to call it like this, and it's going to be a constant, and I'm just going to refer to it right here. Good. So now it should be a little slower. Yeah, the time movement thing is really screwing up my... I don't really like it. Yeah, but I'm not going to bother fixing it, so this just, you know, facilitates the fact that I need to make a bigger level. And how big, you ask? That's a good question. I'm just going to be coming up with a arbitrary value and make this basically this big. I'm probably not going to do a level that is this big, but that's all right. And just for good measure, I'm going to create the camera thing dynamically. So when the player is initialized, the player should just spawn the camera helper, and that's it. All right. Level design is coming up, and also maybe sounds. I might need to add some of these look like they could be nice background sprites, for example. I'm going to disable the collisions on these sprites, also these ones as well, I just missed those. And I'm going to check if I can just, you know, place some of them. Oh crap, this freaking background. Yeah, I'm just going to ignore the whole thing about not using proper black as a background, and I'm just going to use that. So I just want to check if I can add some decorations on the level. No, because of this freaking grid I did. Oh god, yeah, I really need to remove the background, so that's fine. It's not a big issue. Done. It looks a little crap, but yeah, that's all right. I'm just going to move it down a little bit. Okay, and maybe use this one as well. Also remove the background and yeah, move it down right here. You know, I just want some little flare to pop up here and there, possibly. And player can just crush it, so okay. Before I do level design, I really don't want to. I'm going to look for some sounds, not look for some sound, generate some sounds. So chip tone is going to be my go-to sound generating tool this time as well. Usually it is. So I need to make a list of the sounds. Move, remove dirt, pick up potion, pick up gold, death, I mean lose, win, rock collision, damage. Yeah, definitely. Oh, good. This is gold. This is one rock. This is another one. Oh my god, my PC is so freaking slow today. Good god. Okay. So, rock collision done. No, I'm just going to make a note like this. Pick up gold is done. Apart from the detune, this is alright. Where the frick do I turn this off? I don't give a crap. This is going to be fine. Health. Good. Damage. Also done. Pick up potion also done. Remove dirt. Okay. Lose. This is going to be win. Yeah, I'm not going to do a move sound. I think it would be too much. Blues win. Okay, I think we're done with the sounds. So I'm just going to import these real quick. Sounds, import sounds, fonts. No, this is not the right folder. This is the one, and I need to import basically all of them like this. And okay, all done. I'm also going to need an audio object to play these. And I'm not going to do positional audio this time, and I'm definitely not going to do volume controls. So what I just need to do is yeah, go through these and make all the sounds play when stuff happens. So damage is happening right here. This is the dead one, this is the simple damage one. So audio, and no, I'm just going to create a constant that says audio volume dB, and this is going to be -10. This is just so it doesn't play really loudly. This is basically 50%. Okay, so player takes damage but is not dead. Play sound damage, exactly. The volume should be this one. I'm not going to bother about tags. There's not going to be any music, so this is cool. Okay, so damage is done. Okay. Dirt removal. When this happens, this is right. No, where is it? Yeah, this is when the stuff gets erased. So there are 3 of them in this case. So I'm going to do something slightly different, just for some variation. Play by name, and it's going to say dirt and int random 1 4. So it will choose a number between 1 and 3, and then truncate it to an integer and concatenate it to dirt. So now it's going to either play dirt 1, dirt 2, or dirt 3. Volume, this one. Okay, dirt is done, and while I'm here, I'm also going to, no, not right now. I'm just going to make a copy of this. And when things are, when the rocks are falling, I'm going to play something else. Oh, Victor is back. Cső. Mizu. Nem soká. Még fél óra van a jam leadási határidejéig, úgyhogy addig hülyéskedek, és akkor utána befejezem, és utána mehetünk bármára.
Király, akkor visszajövök egy hogy hívják.
Jó. Okay, I'm having second thoughts about adding the sounds for the rock collisions, but never mind that. So first, I'm going to do something like, yeah, do the easy stuff. So gold pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. It happens here. This is where the gold gets destroyed. So I'm just going to play gold right here. Next one, health. Health pickup is happening right here. So this is where I'm going to play it. Done. Lose condition. Okay, this was moved for some reason here. Lose. Good. And win condition is also going to be happening here. So this is done as well. And now the only thing left is the rock thing. So I'm just going to copy this and do some more collision checks. So when the rock is colliding with another object, that is either a rock or the tile map. I think I might just do the tile map collisions and be done with it. And I also need to check the velocity of the rock when the collision happens, which is tricky because I have no idea how high this number goes, but I'm just going to do a little log rock velocity, and I'm just going to, you know, check what sort of numbers occur. Physics. I remember now that the physics has this velocity x and velocity y, but it does not have, for some reason, the total velocity, even though you can create a condition that checks the total velocity. And I have a function somewhere that calculates the total velocity from the x and y components, but I'm not going to bother. Anyway, the velocity y should be the higher one anyway, because of gravity. So let's just check what gets logged on the console. What sort of numbers are we looking at? Okay, so there was like something like 80 and 100. Okay, that's pretty good. Maybe I should make a cutoff point at, let's just check again. My piece is fucking melting. Yeah, I'm going to make the cutoff point at 10. And total velocity, is it going to be a... If it's greater than 10, let's just check like this. Okay, it's playing a little too quiet. Also, what's happening with the freaking background music? It's so quiet as well. Then I remember that I don't want to screw up with the volume ratios. I'm just going to turn this up quick. Okay, so let me just check again. It's alright. It's not horrible. It's something. It's definitely better if compared to having no audio at all. So I'm just going to leave it there. Just a quick check on a few more sounds. Something a little weird is kind of happening, but it's moving so freaking slow. But it is moving, but it's going to stop. Will I be able to pick this up? This is something that I need to look forward with the level design stuff. Good. Congratulations, by now. That's good. Okay, I'm going to create a new build and then I'm really going to get stuck with level development. So, level design, I mean. Right. Trijam 267. Just going to upload this to itch, and I'm going to create a new version of the project, which is 3 or 4, I think. Yeah. I also have to come up with a freaking name. Possibly referencing Boulder Dash? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to create a duplicate of this, even though there's not going to be more than one level. But I'm going to remove a bunch of things from here. Basically everything, I'm thinking. Yeah, probably. Okay, these might come in handy at one point. Let me just check one thing real quick. Yeah, this is an issue because right now the golds are not the gold pickup or any of the pickups. I'm guessing are not physics immovables, but now they are. Yeah, I'm having issues with this freaking background crap. I get 20 minutes to design a level. Just one level. I have no idea what I'm doing. But please bear with me. This will be the most boring part of the whole thing, I think, but never mind. Yeah, this is a little harsh. Okay, so this basically can serve a purpose, allowing the player to, you know, from a safe distance, basically. Oh, fuck, what happened here? I'm thinking about this input thing a little. Instead of these, I might want to just use the triggers, I think. Of course, this means that the player cannot continuously press a button to move, but I don't know. I don't know, I'm not going to screw with this at this point. Okay, this is fine. This is just going to be a kind of like a tutorial, this part. So I'm just going to enclose the player right here. Put a little gold. Yeah. I'm also thinking about doing a little change to the UI. Okay, this is going to be the starting room, which is all right, I think. Maybe something like this. Okay. I'm really not good with time maps, by the way. There's probably a better way to do this, but I don't care at this point. So I'm just going to do something like this. I'm thinking about unbounded scrolling as well. Nah. Yeah, so about the UIs, I want the player to know how many gold pieces are there. So to achieve this, I'm just going to pickup.count, and I also want to filter down to pickups that are playing the animation called gold. So this is basically it. Yes, and also I'm going to make a little change to right arrange this whole thing, decrease the font size a little bit and align it to the right and move it right over here. And also I'm going to remove these little spaces and also do something like player health something out of something. So just like with the gold, the player knows what's the health max. So what's the maximum amount that they can have. So 5 out of 5, gold is something out of something. This is better. The question is that how many gold pieces do I want to lay on the level, and yeah, I have zero idea about this. Okay, 10:46, and I really need to take a pee. Be right back in 2 minutes tops. Just a sec. And I'm back. Oh, OBS. Whoops. So, freaking level design. Let's do this. So right now, this is the tutorial part. So the player can only pick these things up. Yeah, these are just... What the freak? Are they overlapping? No, they're not. No, this is just the player sprite. Okay. So... That's good. Yeah. I might want to add the garbage collector, but then again I might not. That removes the rocks from the level. I really don't have to do this for this one single level, so I'm not going to. Yeah, the dirt's color is problematic because it looks too close to the color of the rock. So I'm just going to go ahead and change it to something else that is a little lighter. I don't know if it's going to look alright or not. Or I should change the color of the rock, I think. That's a better idea. And to do that, I just need to make the change here. Oh god. If it's going to look crap, then I just did these little clicks for nothing. Okay, let's check. That's alright. Okay. Why is that solid? Good. Right, okay, I wanted to add some more dirt over here. Oh, flipping the player when it goes to the left. Yeah, this is something I wanted to do. So I'm just going to hook some more stuff into this. So when it's going to the left, the player mirrored. When it's going to the left, it should be mirrored. When it's going to the right, it should be not mirrored. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to add so much juice, guys. Cool. Yeah, I might want to... Shit. Instead of level design, I'm contemplating changing the gravity a little bit, something a little lower. The player is not a physics object, no, but time map is. So when the time map is initialized, I think I can just do something like time map gravity and set the word gravity instead of 10 to like 5. So it's a little bit more chill. The things are falling in a slower manner, so... No, this is... I don't see a difference at all. What the fuck? Okay, now there's a difference. Interesting. I thought the initial value was 10, and when I changed it to 5, there was like no visible change. Okay. This is alright. Yeah. I got 5 minutes. That's nothing. This level is going to be a real easy one. And it's also going to be, you know, the usual lesson in time management. Why am I always starting from the beginning? I'm just going to move the player right here. It's 4 minutes. Yeah, I'm really going to wing it, guys. Too bad. I wonder if I can do something with the rocks. Something like this. If I can make them move so they free up the gold, that would be freaking cool. Basically they are doing that. Okay. What if I make the rocks a little bit more bouncy? Yeah, I really need to submit the game. I mean, it's like, yeah. I'm just going to do that, yeah. This is going to be a fighter match. I have no title, so I'm just going to name it. Boulder Dash, so it's Dulber Bash. No, it's crap, but I'm going to stick with it. Or I just go the usual route of untitled digging the game. That's good. That's finished. I'm just going to put this right now on itch and call it a day. I mean, yeah, it was a long shot. But I mean, it's not embarrassingly bad. because it was done in 3 hours and it has time movement and physics which I usually do not use, which was in hindsight might have not been the best idea to pursue in this case. It would have been better to just do something a little easier. Something for changing. Good. Okay, how long was it? Okay. Under 3 hours. Okay, the submission is done. I'm just going to rename the page to, what the freak was it called? Untitled Digging Game, right? Okay. Okay, so it looks like it's done. Your project has been submitted. That's good. Okay, so I do not have a cover. I can still probably add one. I just make a screenshot and that's it. A real crap one as well. Oh yeah. I totally screwed this up because the player is in the wrong position. Never mind. This is not going to be the biggest issue with the game anyway. I don't think I can do a late submission, can I? I mean, update the game. I'm going to try it anyway. Which might be against the rules, guys. I'm not sure if Butler is going to allow me to upload the new version, but let's check. Possibly. It does. Okay. They are probably pretty lax on the whole published 1 hour ago. Okay. Right. Why doesn't it show the updated bit? Never mind. Okay, I'm just going to create a screenshot. Whoops. This is the one. Okay. Paint.net, and the resolution I can't remember for the cover bit, 630 by 500. Good. Okay, is Paint.net opening or it's not? Maybe it's just my PC, it's shitting itself. So how big is it? Oh crap. Freaking short. Keyboard shortcuts completely different from the Photoshop ones that I'm accustomed to. Okay. And I'm just going to crop it. Canvas size 630 and do this. Good. I'm just going to save it somewhere. Try Gem2. Okay. Cover with a double R for some reason. Victor is back. Klasa.
Kész lett?
Hát nem igazán, mármint hogy így nagyjából igen, csak pályadizájnra nem volt időm, úgyhogy a mechanikák benne vannak kb. Amit akartam, de nem tudom, 10 másodperc alatt lehet kijátszani körülbelül. Yeah, this is the final version.
Lehet mukival mozogni minden irányba. Aranyat lehet így felvenni. És olyan, mint a Boulder Dash, hogy vannak ilyen kosz cuccok, amire rányomsz, akkor csak hogy a physics mozgatja izét. Igen.
Sokkal jobb a fizikája.
Hát, ja. És akkor, hogyha ilyet felveszem, még akkor rádesik a cucc, és akkor lesérülsz picit, de van health poti, és azt fel lehet venni, és akkor az visszagyógyít. Lehet ilyen dolgokat csinálni. Az ott például ott mindjárt széttolja azt a követ, és akkor emiatt azt majd mindjárt föl lehet ott venni, addig is ezt fölveszed. Hát, vagy nem lehet fölvenni, igen, ez kellemetlen egy kicsikét, de hát, hogy mondjam, ennél több kellemetlenség is volt már a játékban. Na, most jó lesz szerintem, vagy nem. Szar. Hát így igen, végül is.
Ugye helpotőek is van értelme.
A helpotőnek is van értelme, igen, legalább föl is veszem egyébként, mert meg lehet halni egyébként, bár, hogy mondjam, azért... Nem egyszerű. Ja.
Ez egy különösség.
És van win condition, meg lose condition, szóval, hogy így ennyi. Ja. Ugye milyen remek? Na mindegy, hát... Hát jó lenne, hogyha pályát...
Jó lenne. Tudod, mi kéne? Igen.
Mi kéne?
Kéne még egy ember, igen.
Aha. Amúgy most nézem, hogy a gold számlálózzal mi a tök van. Hülyeségeket ír ki, de mindegy, nem baj, jó az egyébként. Ja, jó. Hát, ja. So, that's it, guys. Thanks for sticking around. If someone stuck around, whatever. I'm going to call it a day and have some breakfast at this point. So, yeah. Cheers. I'll be back probably this week streaming because we want to do another instance of the Havi egy játék or one game a month jam with Tibor. So that should be coming up, and there's a very good chance that I'm going to do this on Wednesday. So if anyone's interested in this sort of thing and something that is a little bit more organized and not last minute crap like this, then stick around on Wednesday. See you around.